Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audibletrial.com/ContinueShow. Audible has over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. This month, we're recommending The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. The movie is coming out in a couple weeks, and the book is a great way to get a sneak peek of what you're going to see. Also, fair warning, spoilers. Duh. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/ContinueShow.
This is ContinueCast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the ContinueCast. My name's Paul.
I'm Josh.
I'm Nick.
And we have a very special guest with us here today.
It's Luke.
Oh, what a surprise.
No
Little
surprise
suspense.
anymore.
Little suspense.
Do we need to
I think it's a funny joke still.
think so? You think it's still a funny joke?
I think anytime you have to say, I think it's a funny joke still, I think the joke is absolutely funny.
I mean,
There's no curtain that we have on this show.
yeah, I
There's
think
no
people get that Luke is like straight on member of the show.
Yeah. I just think
I
Special
don't know, I
guest
think
for
it's
life.
funny.
I'm trying to beat Heather Locklear's record for most special guest appearances
Yes,
on the same show. Because,
So good.
she was never given any kind of top billing on Melrose Place.
is that like
Every-
trying to make her not get paid the same amount? Or what is
No,
that?
it was just like the long-running thing that they did.
I
Where
thought it was like a negotiation thing.
Probably was.
So she wanted her own kind of like thing.
it might have been, but it worked for them.
Yes,
Because,
it did.
she was on every fucking episode.
I think I think you can negotiate because I think that's like Always Sunny is like
Danny DeVito's always special guest star.
yeah, and Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
right.
think Chevy Chase is the same way in Community,
Yeah.
but I don't know, whatever.
Well, anyways, ContinueCast is the
Well, I think it's
twice-
pretty good because it's Paul, Nick,
Okay.
and Josh,
Yeah.
and special guest Luke.
And special guest Luke.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
And
funny.
special guest Luke.
I know you're trying to move on. I'm
Josh,
sorry.
Josh is laughing because I was like totally getting ready to just move the show
Yeah,
on.
I just fucking tangented.
God.
Super tangent.
Anyways, ContinueCast is the twice monthly podcast where we play a retro video game and say if we would continue or game over. The first episode is our first impression. The second episode is our final verdict. Although, this month, in December, we're going to be doing something a little differently. We've decided to pick 2 indie games and go over them and treat it sort of as a single one-shot episode for each game. And it's more intended to be like kind of a review-ish, like should you spend your Christmas gift money or should you
Yeah.
buy it for someone as a gift
Yeah.
type of episode. Now let's talk about Heather Locklear again.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking about Heather
Let's
Locklear.
She was like the Obi-Wan of that show.
Still
She
hot.
still look good.
Still
Does she?
hot.
Yeah.
Oh, probably.
Google that bitch.
All right, I'm gonna do that. BRB.
Okay, bring that up. This week we're going to be playing. This episode we're going to be playing Retro City Rampage, which is available for the PS3, PC, and apparently the PlayStation Vita. Is that true?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
you can crossplay. If you download
Yeah.
it, if you download it to the PS3, like it's the same copy. You only have to buy it once.
That's sweet.
Like you don't have to buy 2 copies. It has like cross saves, so like I can take it on the go.
That's badass.
Yeah, but it just sits in my PS3 though. It just sits there.
What do you mean?
Well, I got
What's it doing when
I
I'm
got
not
both,
home?
and like it comes up. It's like the first thing. Like
Oh,
I'll like
yeah.
scroll down, and it's like above where Retro City Rampage should be. It's just bad design. That's all. It's just like
No,
I'm
it is. It
confused
is.
as to what you mean.
It has.
it should hide it
has-
until you have.
It has the game
Uh-huh.
when you download them. Both versions show up on your game folder, but the
Oh.
version for the Vita, if you
Is
don't have
above.
one, it just sits in this little bubble saying like, "Hey,
Yeah, I
I'm
got
here
this.
for the
If you want
Vita.
it.
Yeah, install me.
Yeah.
Use me."
I got deleted, I guess, but like, just shouldn't be there.
Yeah, why would that? Why would
Yeah.
you need that on the PlayStation?
I don't
Well, that's
on the
not
actual system.
because
Yeah.
some people hook it up and then port it over.
Oh, and like, can you play it like on your TV with your Vita in your hand?
I don't know about that, but I just meant like you can plug your Vita in instead of having to worry about downloading it via like Wi-Fi. You can just bloop.
I see.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's a really
Yeah.
weird. That's
It's a
you're
really
right.
weird design.
No, you're right. That is a good.
But
that's a
all
good
all
call.
their stuff does that for like PS1 classics, anything that's compatible on both the PS3
That's cool.
and PSP or PS Vita. It'll put your version that you're using on the PS3, and then another version just like sits there. That's like, hey, you've got this other extra game license.
That's so
You can
awesome
use
though.
it anytime you want.
I
Yeah.
love the fact that you can do like a cross save, like pick it up and go. Like, that's sweet. Because for someone like me, like, I travel a lot between different, like, places. Staying at my girlfriend's or staying at my house. Josh's house, my girlfriend's. So, like, I end up, like, a lot of times, like, shifting, like, saves around. Like, especially when we're playing older games. When we're doing a ROM or something, I'll have to, like, save it to, like, a thumb drive and take the thumb drive with me.
Yeah.
But that's nice that you can just be like, oh, I'm playing it at home. Oh, I'm going to go on the road. Drop it on here.
You should save it to your Dropbox.
What's that?
You should save it to your Dropbox.
Yeah, Dropbox is a good idea, too.
Yeah. That's what the Jack Kerouac album is, or album. What are those things with albums with words? What are they called? Books?
Music word books?
Book on
Musical
tape.
word book? Yeah.
It's a book on tape with no narration.
It's, yeah.
Self-narrating. Choose your own narration.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
If you're curious, Heather Locklear looks pretty good still.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Does she?
she looks all right.
Speaking of books on tape.
Yeah. Heather Locklear,
on
Melrose
tape.
Place.
And then Billy asked me, but how do I please a woman good? That's actually from the script. I think.
Yo, side tangent. I was watching
Wait,
TV.
side tangents?
Yeah, side
Do
tangent.
we need to announce those?
Yeah. I was watching TV because it kind of relates to Melrose Place, right? I was watching.
It was on television.
I was watching TV and fucking Shannon Doherty came up in this fucking commercial for like keep getting your education.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
And I was
I
like,
went to University of Phoenix, and so can you.
my wife was like, "What the fuck is Shannon Doherty doing here?" I was like, "Well, she should have focused on getting an education instead of focusing on getting on Luke Perry's dick."
That was her
That was
4-year
it,
plan, dude.
And I was just like, "What the fuck is she doing here?
Dude.
Like, what are you doing?"
She was like
doing?
a queen. Like, she was like gonna
Yeah.
be like huge.
She's getting that SAG insurance. That's what she's doing.
She's gonna keep it going.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my
She's
god.
like, I need that health insurance. I gotta do something.
Shit's running out.
Oh, man. This week's podcast brought to you by University of Phoenix.
I went there, and so should can you.
Shannon Doherty.
Let's go into the vital stats of this game.
Fiddlestits.
So, Retro City Rampage was released this year by VBlank Entertainment. Again, it's out on the PS3, PC, and Vita.
But Paul, it looks so old.
But it looks old. But wait, we'll get to that. Apparently, it's coming out in Q4 2012 for 360 and Wii, which
It'll be out
All right.
early 2013.
yeah, okay. The Wikipedia page is a little
It's going
outdated.
through certification right now, actually. For
Okay.
anybody who didn't have a PS3 or Steam and is looking forward to getting it on a 360, it's coming.
You can totally play this on like any computer. If you're listening to this podcast, you can play this game.
Not
your
on a Mac.
computer. Oh, you're right. Yeah, it is Mac.
Wait,
Yeah,
are
it's
you
not Mac.
telling me I have to pay for this game that we're playing on this podcast? Come on, guys.
I didn't bust my ass for 7 years at the University of Phoenix to spend my money on video games.
Well, you should pay for this video game because this guy's been working on this game since the year 2002.
What?
It's 10 years.
That's 10 years.
10 years. Decade in the making, and it shows.
Graphics suck.
Graphics suck, dick.
The cool thing about this game is it started out as like
That's why we have spit guards, Josh.
this game started out as a NES homebrew. He started out making it on an NES.
That's sweet. The kind of
That's
like
crazy. That's cool.
that what's that game we played?
yeah, Battle Kid.
Continue. Battle Kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Except this is like way more powerful of an engine
Yeah.
than the NES could handle. And he'd like when he made this game like in like 2010 or 11 or something, he went to the what's the game makers conference that they have? CES.
Game Makers Conference.
GDC?
GDC.
Oh,
GDC.
okay.
I don't know. CES is computer
CES is
entertainment.
the Consumer Electronics Show.
That's right. Yeah. Computer
He
entertainment.
went to NAB, the National Association of Broadcasters. I'm going to broadcast this video game here.
But he went to GDC and was like, check out what I did. And people were like, say what?
Yeah.
Because like they saw it and it's like, this shouldn't be allowed to be existing on an NES.
Right.
But then he switched it over to the PC and he's been making it. It's this guy, his name's Brian Provinciano. This guy's Italian. Provinciano.
Yeah.
He's Italian.
Yeah.
From the province of Anno.
Provinciano, yes.
I believe it.
Yearly Province, yes. Brian Yearly Province.
Yearly Province.
So he's the sole designer on this game, but he did have a pixel artist come in, and then he brought in Leonard, Freaky DNA Paul, Jake Vert Kaufman, and Matt Norenrad Creamer. Gross name.
Norenrad, real name is Silver Surfer.
Creaming him.
Dude's in the wrong profession, man.
Dude, I know, right?
Yeah, he should work in a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a dairy.
He should work in porn, but the porn's in a Starbucks.
At a dairy farm. He should be at a dairy farm, probably.
Probably.
He's just working with some cows.
Like his ancestors. That's why his name.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't know any of those. They're all chiptune artists. I don't know any of them.
Okay.
But I gotta say, their music was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I
music
liked
was
it.
awesome in it.
So yeah, this game has
Spoilers.
like what's that?
Spoilers for the
Spoiler
later
for the-
part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Music section.
So and a kind of an interesting backstory for this game. A little more than it's sort of your typical indie story, like a single developer and stuff like that. But I like the fact that he was kind of like, all right, I'm gonna make this on like an old system as sort of just like a pet project, and then it just became like, holy crap, I'm like really pushing boundaries with this thing, and
I think it's great, man.
Kind of developed into what it is.
No, it's very
Well, I mean,
cool.
it's kind of like based on Grand Theft Auto, like the
Definitely, yeah.
the older
Yeah.
top-down ones.
It was initially he was just making an NES version of Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
and it was called like Grand Theft Tendo.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's what it was originally that, and he was like, oh, I'll just remake that as like kind of a pet project.
Yeah.
And then as he was doing it, he was realizing in order to do it, he had to keep like kind of breaking the system, kind of like forcing it to do things it couldn't
Right.
do. And then he was like, oh crap, I'm making something really cool here.
And then they invented computers in 2003.
And then he was like,
oh, man, he's like, oh, I can do this on computers.
computer?
so
But I actually think this game is actually more fun to play than any of those old Grand Theft Auto ones.
even the original top-down ones, you think?
I think so, yeah, because I think
Really?
that like it offers a little bit more
It's
to
diff-
players.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's dive into it. Let's dive right into it. Let's go into the gameplay, I guess, first.
Retro City Rampage gameplay.
Brought to you by- oh wait, we should hear from our sponsor first.
Right, yes, sorry.
Today's ContinueCast is brought to you by
Got all over Josh.
Dude, you glazed me.
Monster Energy Zero Ultra, Zero Sugar, 0 calories, Ultra Splash Down.
You were saving that one up.
Yeah, seriously, man.
You haven't opened a Monster in a few days.
Josh didn't get handed his Gallagher Gallagher like cover that he was supposed to get for being in the front row.
I remember the last time I opened one and I got fucking pop shotted. Yeah. So I fucking
You got monster jizz everywhere, man.
Oh, man. You're like Jenna Hayes.
Today's gameplay control is brought to you by Monster.
So good, man.
So
What a good sponsor.
What's that?
What a good sponsor.
They are a good sponsor. They always create some sort of thing for us to talk about for a little bit.
They give us the license to be entertaining and advertise at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Before we get into like specifics, let's go around the table and talk about what we played it on. Nick, what did you play it on?
I played it on PS3.
You played it on PS3?
Yes.
Okay.
PS3 and Vita.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I played on Steam on my PC.
Me too. I played it on Steam
Yeah.
as well. What did you play it with? A keyboard? Or did you play it
I played with the keyboard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I played it with. I used the F360.
I tried to
pad.
do that, but I didn't.
You have to have the pad plugged in before you turn the game on.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yep.
God damn it.
Before you turn the game on, or before you turn Steam on?
Before you turn the game on.
Oh,
You can have
okay.
Steam on, but once you start the game up, it recognizes what's in there.
I'll try it.
There's probably a way to switch it while you're in
Yeah.
the game, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I tried doing that as well, but
Yeah, well, yeah.
so it's cool. We got two of each side.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. So yeah, let's talk about the gameplay. Nick, why don't you start?
Shit's good. And I'm done. No, I really liked. Obviously it's very like Grand Theft Auto-y, and like, it gave you those options like right off the bat. You know, like it just came back to me immediately. The jumping was kind of cool. That was, obviously not in the other Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, really?
In the
I
original
think
top
jump
downs?
on
In the top downs, you
people.
could
jump?
on people, but you could jump over like
Oh,
cars.
that's right.
and
Yeah, you
shit.
could. 'Cause I still remember the
Oh,
sprite
okay.
like getting bigger, like
Yeah.
awkwardly
Yeah.
bigger.
I do remember that. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay,
Mhm.
whatever.
But still, but it was
No,
still-
but it's still
but
cool.
Jumping on people is new.
Yeah,
yes.
that's
yeah.
kind of cool. So that's like a nice like video game throwback kind of thing, and I thought that was kind of nice. And then the cover system was actually kind of
Yeah.
interesting too. You know, like that's not been in like a top down
yeah.
thing before, really. Aside from like Contra when you duck. You know
Did you
what I
find
mean?
that you used it though?
Yeah, I used it a pretty fair amount.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought
Yes.
it was a kind of a pain in
Could-
the ass.
I can't remember. Can you shoot from it from cover?
Yeah,
I don't
you-
think
you
can,
stand,
can
though.
You have to stand back up, but
yeah. You don't have to get out of from cover.
you don't
like,
have to get out of cover though.
For me, I hit triangle to get into cover, and then you face the opposite way of whatever you're doing, and then
Right.
you just point in that direction because you can use like the analog stick to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just point in that direction, and you stand up and shoot.
Oh, see, I think
Yeah,
if you
it's
try to
kinda
use the
weird.
auto target button while you're in cover,
He
it
leaves
doesn't
cover.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it drops you out of it. And
Yeah.
it just fucks it up. So that's why I was like, I don't see really a use for this.
Right.
Because what I ended up doing was just circle strafing
Just
everybody.
murking
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, man.
I would just jump and
Circle,
pound
strafe, and
people.
jump.
Dude,
Yeah.
circle strafe and
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah,
You're just
seriously.
dude, guys can't handle that.
Yeah,
Patience,
it worked out
man.
really good.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll hit something. That's
Yeah.
you're doing it.
Spray and pray. Yeah.
I saw online a lot of people had issues with the driving controls.
We
they're
actually,
goofy.
Boston Sean wrote in and said he felt the style of driving is dated, which is on purpose, I know, but it didn't work.
Yeah,
Really?
Good point about the on purpose thing. I
Yeah.
thought the same thing too.
That's
but
what I want
was
to talk about.
I get it.
Is
yeah.
like some of the stuff is purposefully bad because it's
Right.
an old game.
Right.
It's supposed to emulate that.
Yeah.
Is that a good excuse? Is it a good excuse to have bad gameplay?
What, to have your style kind of like deter away from like functionality?
Yeah,
I
to be
don't-
like that's the way it was.
But is it purposely bad, or is it like just purposely designed and things have evolved beyond that? So
Yeah.
now you're like, this sucks because
It's not realistic.
It's not what we have now.
Yeah.
When I went to
That's what I mean though. Should you?
But I don't think it's purposely designed bad. I don't think he said like, I'm going to make bad driving. I
No,
think
but-
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just that's how it kind of turned
When
out.
I went to
because-
William Penn's house when I was 8, they made root beer. But
Uh-huh.
they made root beer like they made it in fucking 1680.
From real roots.
It sucked. You can call it root beer. You can say, but this is how they did it. It was terrible.
It's like-
I don't think it's okay because I think it's still just bad
that
controls.
that makes sense though. The root beer thing. And we're gonna extend this analogy a little bit. It's like okay, we can taste it to be like this is how it was done,
Right.
But you would never sell that.
I would never be like, I really want some William Penn root beer.
Yeah, but William
exactly.
Penn root beer sucked dick. All right,
Yeah.
like even back
Yeah.
then it sucked dick.
Well,
You know what I mean? But like you drink
Probably
some
was great,
like
Probably better
Mountain
than
Dew
stink water
throwback
that you
or
had to
like
drink.
Pepsi throwback, and you're like, oh, that's the way it tastes. And you're like, yeah, sometimes I want to taste what that tasted like
Yeah.
back then.
yeah,
you know?
real sugar.
Yeah.
with real things in
Yeah,
it.
with real
not
things
just
in it.
chemicals.
I think conversely, I really enjoyed the controls because they were like comical. You know what I mean? This game has a really great sense of humor, and I feel like
Yeah.
the controls. I think if it controlled like regular, like a real, like the way the other Grand Theft Autos did, I'd be like, well, this doesn't really feel like it's from that era.
Right.
But like this felt like fucking Roger Rabbit or
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're
you know what I
driving
mean?
and you're all
Where like
squeaky.
you
Yeah.
can just go like all the way right and then just hit left and you're just like, now I'm going this way now. You know,
Dude, I loved it. Like, it reminded me of like ice hockey, like how you
Yeah.
can turn on a dime in
Yeah,
that game.
dude, yeah.
There were times where like a cop was behind me on a bike, and I was like, I'll just take him out. And I'm like, you just turn around and whack, you just whack into him, he flies
Yeah.
away, and you're like, and you go back to the way you're going.
Dude, it was so good, man. It was like Battlestar Galactica rules, man. It was
Yeah,
great,
man.
dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
dude. Oh,
raptor
dude.
fighting, dude. It was so. I really liked that part of it because like it just felt. It didn't feel real. It felt like a video game, and there's so many references to other video games in this that it just
Yeah.
felt like. Well, yeah, the controls would be like that.
Right.
You know, in a game that's from that era, that's what it would feel like, and that's
Yeah.
what it would be like. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Retro Game Finds wrote in, and they said that they found that the jumping on enemies was impossible. And I kind of thought it was
Yeah.
a little tough too, because they're so small. The sprites are so small.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
It's not like it like locked on and like sent you there, which I think it probably should have. Like if
Yeah.
you jumped and hit like the jump down button, you should have just locked in and just like done it.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
Because there's one mission where you got a jetpack and you're like, you got to stomp on civilians,
yeah,
and I was
yeah.
like, all right, well I'm just gonna ground pound like bum 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 bum
Yeah.
to
Yep.
get them. You know what I mean? It should have been a little more like in tune, but
Like
Yeah.
like
the
it
auto
would jump
target
you
should have
to-
worked.
right, the
Like
auto
you-
target should.
If
Yeah,
you were in there
exactly.
and you're hitting the pound button, you should have been able to like hold it,
Right,
and it's like
yeah.
locks onto a guy below, and you're like boop. Although I did like, and it probably wouldn't have worked if you could auto lock on that. If you were in a group of enemies, you could like combo the
and
jump.
you get like the achievement thing at the bottom.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
cool.
Yeah. The I'll say the jumping was a lot easier on the console.
Mhm.
You know, 'cause I only played it on the Vita just a little bit just to kind of see
Yeah.
how it transitioned,
Right.
and it doesn't play quite as tight because it's I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Really?
Yeah.
But
Did you
like
play with the Vita with that second controller thing, the second little knobby thing?
What do
Didn't
you
the
mean?
first one not have that?
no, that's the PSP.
Oh, okay.
The
I don't
Vita
know
has
things about video
the Vita
games.
has the Vita has two analog
knobbies.
sticks.
Okay.
So yeah, use that for shooting. But like the jumping was just not as accurate for some reason.
Right.
But I actually thought it was really cool. My only problem with the jumping was there are some enemies who are assholes who like you can time their shooting patterns like a handgun or like a shotgun.
Yeah.
Right.
But then there are some enemies who have the shotgun and they can fire like 3 like shotguns
Yeah.
like right in a row.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm gonna jump over this first wave of your bullets, and then
Yeah.
they're like, yeah,
Nope.
but you're gonna land right in these other
Right.
two. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, but that was cool.
What else did you like about the gameplay?
I
Or
kind of
dislike?
I kind of dug it because I used to play GTA 2 like non-stop landing
Yeah.
death
Right.
matches.
Yeah.
You know, like 1025 and fruit bat.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get the cops coming in,
Yeah.
and then but this was just like a total trip back into that, and I thought it was really fun. It was. I'll agree that the driving was a little weird, but for me it was only weird because the streets were weird. I don't know why.
The city wasn't like a block and like a grid.
Right.
It had these weird patterns.
It had this like
Yeah.
the street is just gonna go into a building.
It was like
I
a Tetris.
yeah.
There was really
Yeah.
long blocks, and there's
Right.
blocks that have
Right.
stores on the end. It was just
Yeah.
very square.
It was hard to like kind of memorize where you
and
were.
like alleyways
stuff.
had like shit in there that you couldn't like drive down.
Yeah.
So you had to like get out of the car. Most of the time I just like ran around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you run like 50 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like it was really like at first I was like this running is super slow.
Yeah.
Like at first, but then you get used to
When
it.
you look at
Like,
the other people walking, and you're
Yeah,
like, man,
yeah.
I'm fucking the Flash, man.
Yeah.
I'm so fucking fast.
One thing I did like is that it wasn't like miles away; it was pixels,
Pixels.
away.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
that
funny.
was like
That was
such a
funny.
great.
Yeah, that's
like,
a great
That's a
idea.
great thing. But like, one thing it like. Sorry to keep comparing it to Grand Theft Auto, but I
No,
think
it's-
that's kind
that's
of
what it-
inevitable. But like the driving in Grand Theft Auto, you would drive, and if you hit something, if you made a mistake, you would just stop, and you'd be like, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck, I can take like 10 hits with my car, and then I gotta fucking
Right.
find
Like,
another one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this one you could fucking ram into everything
Yep.
and anything, and then after like 100 hits, it'd be like, bloop, one little thing.
Yeah.
the other way. So like the controls were kind of like wonky, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it. But like from the gameplay thing, like in the Grand Theft Auto, I would be afraid of things getting in my way, so I would always drive in like the center, like on the line,
Yeah.
to kind of avoid that. But now I would just drive, and shit gets out of your way. No matter what, so you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just gonna fucking drive
Yeah.
through things instead of around.
Exactly.
things.
That's like the cops in this game are like so inconsequential.
Yeah.
Because they can't really do anything other than just
Yeah.
fly their cars at you and try
Yeah.
and knock you out. I feel like in Grand Theft Auto games, you kind of don't want to get cops on you all the
Yeah.
time. You kind of want to try and obey
Right.
the rules.
Well,
In
dude,
this game, it's
military
just like,
showed up, and you were like, "Oh fuck everything."
Yeah.
Dude, in this, you're like, "I don't give a fuck."
Not if
this
you're on that
military.
one
In this-
roof.
Yeah, on that parking garage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not if you're
Oh,
in
there
the
was
parking
one.
garage.
There was one restaurant you could go in and you're just like chilling and be like, "Are we talking about 3 or are we talking about the original 2?"
I was talking about
I
Vice City.
was talking about
I was
Vice
talking
City.
about-
Yeah,
in Vice City at the one bridge there was a little restaurant you could go in and just like
Yeah.
stay there forever. But no, the in this it's like I just got to get to this fucking mission marker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly through everything, and
Dude.
then as soon as you get in the mission, the cops leave you alone
Yeah,
most
yes,
of the time.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
It's
man.
the
That's
best.
what's so nice about it.
I think it's purposeful. He's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just be crazy.
Yeah, cops are gonna get on you no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
and like I can't tell a motorcycle from a cop motorcycle, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out the way. And then one gets on you, and you're like, all right, well now I got to do this mission.
They're all
Yeah.
just hogs to Nick.
Gotta get to that county line, bitch.
I loved all the power ups you could get,
Yeah.
Um,
There was some cool stuff.
and you just the unbelievable amount of weapons.
Yeah.
in
dude,
this game.
I never ran out of weapons ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
I died at one point and lost all my weapons.
That's what happens.
Yeah, and then you have to go back and start collecting again because from the beginning of the game, if you just keep going before you die, you have all those weapons. Because the beginning of the game is just like, here's all the weapons, take
Yeah.
them all.
Yeah.
Like it just gives you everything.
we can go to the one casino,
Uh-huh.
and the casino. I don't know if you guys went in there.
I never went in. No.
The casino is the old Mario 3.
yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome. That's
You know
cool
that
shit.
that
Yeah,
like
that's
slot
funny.
machine thing.
That's funny.
But the prizes are one. It's like one thing is a prize, and it's like 99 Molotov cocktails, and the
Oh,
other two
nice.
things you can get are instant death or you catch fire.
That's awesome, dude. That's really
But you
good.
can like fill up on like Molotovs, like shield, like body armor,
Right.
and like instant health in there, and it's you just like load up, or you can play like the match game that they have in there,
Right.
and then you get the guns. It's like
Oh, that's cool.
It's also the old Mario 3
Right.
Flip in
match
the
game.
cards, yeah.
So and it's like match 2 pistols, get the pistol. Match 2
Oh, that's
Uzis,
cool.
get the Uzis.
That's
like,
cool. Yeah, I love how many mini games there are in it. Like,
Yeah,
it's just an unbelievable. And the beginning of the game is just like insanity.
Yeah.
And it's just like
What the fuck?
for the first like 15 minutes, I almost felt like I didn't know what was happening. Like
Yeah.
my eyes couldn't focus on the screen for more than like
Yeah.
2 or 3 seconds because something would just happen, something else would happen.
yeah.
And so like you go through all these different like styles of gameplay like
Yeah.
in like seconds, and then you're settled into the game, but then it's cool because then you can go out and try them all out again and
Right.
stuff like that.
I think that turned me off a little bit.
Me too,
I was kind of like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, I sort of like, I got the joke like right away.
Yeah, of the references.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Clayton Elric and Trent Lelu wrote in and both said cool references, but after a while you're like, fucking stop it.
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like it's innovative in a way. Like it's like I appreciate this guy's imagination.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna tie all these things. Whatever. I
Right.
get it. Blah ha ha. Funny. But
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to like have to like sit through like these jokes. You know.
Yeah.
There's
like,
a lot of in jokes,
Yeah.
like the Solid Snake part. Or
yeah,
the,
that's all,
Right.
yeah.
It's like, yeah, I got it. The truck has started to move. Yeah,
Yep.
that's funny.
I love that line during that where you're like talking to the guy when you get in the truck and he call him and he goes, I always felt slept.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. But I think that like the references, like I totally get that after a while it gets a little boring because after a while I started to become numb to them. Like at first I was like, oh man, that's so
Yeah.
great, and then
Yeah.
you know like there was like a reference to like the Zelda get item thing, and I
Yeah.
was just like, oh yeah, there's that.
Yeah, there's that now.
Yeah, some of them seemed a lot easier than like other ones. Like I mean, obviously like the Back to the Future thing is like all over the place, but like
Yeah.
I don't know. I kept thinking I was like, yeah, if I made a video game, it would just be like this, just references.
I thought that too. I was like,
references to everything.
I text you guys and I was like,
Yeah.
this game was meant for us. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, this is just like this is what like we love, like just
Right.
references to all stuff that we love, not just games but movies too.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
I was trying to keep track of the references for a while, and I got down like Super Troopers, Beastie Boys, Mega Man, Counter Strike, Mortal Kombat, DuckTales, and then I got there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop. This is like, and that's like the very beginning of the game because you see Super Troopers like when Farva like
yeah,
happens.
Farva.
Yeah.
and then it's like Beastie Boys because
Yeah.
they do the sabotage thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Then there's like the
the
Mega, Man 2.
the Mega Man 2, like the
Rooftop
screen.
thing.
And he's
yeah.
like, I like bomb the fuse or whatever at the top of that, and then I forgot the Mortal Kombat thing.
There's a
was.
toasty thing.
That's
Yeah,
right.
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
toasty.
yeah,
comes in.
Yeah, and then
Um,
then you rob in the bank and you go and they like no diving in the vault, so it's like
DuckTales.
Scrooge
Yeah,
Duck,
yeah.
DuckTales.
And then it's like Frogger getting across the thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
Frogger. Yeah, it was just like nonstop, like endless references. Sean L wrote in. I thought this was pretty apt. He said it's more like a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah,
in a way.
that's great.
Yeah,
That's a great.
That's
like-
really
point.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, like
But I think part of it is too like you gotta like know what the references are to get the joke. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I think that a lot of people playing this game will get them because they'll be like wanting to play like a retro game like this.
right.
But I think some people they're just gonna go over their heads and not realize what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of like you know like when I saw like Blazing Saddles, you know I didn't realize that like some of the jokes in that are from like you know Sierra Madre or
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about
yeah,
like
like Magnificent
yeah
Seven
like I
and
didn't
shit
get
like
those
that,
references
yeah.
until like later on when I
Movies
appreciate
that when that movie was made was they were staple westerns.
Right.
You know, that's still
Right.
when westerns were like big deal.
Yeah.
But like in like 1995, like
Yeah,
kids
like-
aren't watching westerns
Like,
anymore.
if it's not
they
Unforgiven,
sure,
it
they
ain't
sure
shit.
do remember Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
yeah, dude, that was in there. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel
That
like
was funny.
I feel like this guy is probably about our age,
Probably, yeah.
and you probably have to be in like your mid to late 20s to fully appreciate all the references.
Yeah.
like I'm sure if you're younger, you can get the majority of them, but there's a
Right.
lot of stuff in here that's like just little things. And unless you've gone back and explored old games,
Right.
or
Right.
gone back and explored old movies, like oldish movies, like you're not going to really pick up on right away.
I did like the time travel thing right off the bat. I was like, that's kind of cool.
That's
It's
pretty
kind of
funny.
fun.
Did you meet Future You? Did
Yeah,
you-
yeah. When he's
Yeah.
like 69, dude.
when I saw that, the guy showed up with those glasses and he started saying those jokes, I was like, did Dom write this part?
That really is like a
It
dumb
was
thing.
like such a Dom moment.
Well, he's
It
from
was
the future.
unbelievable.
Give him sunglasses. Give him
Give him-
Shawn
give him a-
Michaels sunglasses.
No, Bret Hart.
Bret Hart.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wraparounds.
Dude,
Oh my God,
ridiculous. I loved at the very beginning, like after you do the first mission and like you're running away from the cops when you kind of get screwed over. The cops chase after you, you kill the cops up, the fucking Ninja Turtles show up, you kill the Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
the A-Team shows up,
Yep.
you killed the A-Team, and then the fucking, the dudes from Double Dragon come down in the
No, the
helicopter.
Contra guys.
Oh, was it Contra?
Yeah, it's the Contra
Yeah,
guys.
Oh,
yeah,
I read it as because one hit because it was that's
Right,
why I
right,
said
right,
one
right,
hit
right,
because it
right.
was
Yeah.
Contra. Okay, for some reason I thought it was Double Dragon because I thought about
Well,
the
there's
helicopter,
blue and red. You
blue and
know?
red in the
Yeah.
helicopter
Yeah.
when you're in the thing. So I
That's
thought
pretty
that,
funny.
but yeah, dude, I love that you just kill like everybody.
good.
All your heroes are dead. Like
Yeah.
in seconds.
Well, I like too. Like the turtle van is like a van that you can just get at
Yeah.
any time. It's
Yeah, the
just-
18 van's just chilling
Yeah,
in
it's
the
just
city.
driving
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. And like the DeLorean was great. You know, it's like, oh, we got to kill 88 people to
Yeah.
get to the future. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
That was good as shit.
The customization stuff I thought was really neat.
Yeah, I did the kid and play hair like as soon as I got it.
But the only thing that blows is you can only have one customization
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, I'm gonna get the hockey mask and the kid and play hair and
Yeah.
the tattoo of myself on my back.
Yeah.
And I was like, none of it'll show up, but I'll know I'll have it. But then like you're only allowed to have one thing like show up as your avatar in the corner. So when you get the tattoo, like your tattoo becomes the
does it?
avatar.
That's funny.
You know, so like when you have the kid and play hair, it like shows up on the
on the
screen.
Yeah,
like,
because it's
got,
all
like,
tall and
like,
stuff.
it's all,
That's so good.
it's all edge up.
Yeah.
It's like your Xbox thing. It's just like, well, I know I have that thing.
Yeah.
At least it's there for me to
Yeah.
comfort me.
I'm gonna feel good about that I spent money on that.
Hey, shut up, man. My Tron outfit rules.
No, dude, I started setting up that stuff, and I was just like, that looks like me. I was like, I can get some Star Wars stuff, and I was like, you got to pay money for it.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
mind.
I got-
Who's gonna see this?
Yeah.
Just me.
Yeah. One thing I liked about like the presentation of this game was the like just off the start, like you open up the game and instantly you're like, holy shit, this is a fucking Nintendo game. Like the music is hitting
Yeah.
you.
Did
Okay.
you guys ever change it?
That's what I was gonna say.
The music,
I
yeah,
love-
yeah.
No.
No, the visuals.
The visuals.
Did you go in and check out the visual options
I
in there?
didn't.
No.
Dude, you can
Oh
go
my
in.
God.
It's insane. There's
Yeah.
so many options for. You can change the visuals of how the actual game looks.
Oh, really?
Like,
That's
you can change the
crazy.
color
I didn't know that.
scheme. You can make it look like it's an old like DOS computer or like
That's
a
cool.
Mac
Fucking
computer.
Game Boy.
kidding me?
Game
That's
Boy.
Awesome.
That's
And then you
cool.
can change the outer frame too. So like I made it the
That was
arcade
great,
one.
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
I made the arcade one that has like the weapons on the
Yeah.
one side.
That's
and
that's like the
mine comes up
default,
as.
yeah.
Yeah. Is that the default?
I think so, because
Oh,
that's how mine
shit.
started.
Yeah, that's
really?
how mine started too.
So, but you can change it to
Huh.
be like that old school CRT TV.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh,
Or
dude, that's cool.
And you
as
can
shit,
you can
man.
find visual styles that'll match all the outer styles, so you can pretend you're
That's
playing it on an
great.
old Game Boy.
Dude, that's
Pretend-
so good, man.
Dude, it's awesome. It's like one of the coolest parts of it. It's like I just sat there for a while, like looking through them all, just being like, "This is amazing."
Well,
Dude,
because at
that's so
first too,
good.
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of this like border. I want to see the full game, and then I was like,
Right.
wait a minute, the whole game takes place in like this middle square anyway. So
Yeah.
fuck it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
give me the cool border.
Yeah.
See, that's just great too. Like it's that kind of attention to detail that I think makes this game really good, because it's like you get that. Like it doesn't go 16:9 because
Right.
they didn't make games 16:9.
Right.
They only made them 4:3 for your
Yeah.
shitty old CRT and like your arcade cabinet. You know?
Right.
And I think that's what adds a lot to the game.
I think without all that stuff, sorry, this game isn't that great. You
It
know
would
what
have
I
just
mean?
been a shitty Flash game if it just had like
exactly like E-Bomb's World or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
okay,
Yeah, you find this on Newgrounds. Or
Yeah,
something,
yeah. Like I think that stuff makes the game.
yeah.
Yeah, his personality that he puts into
Yeah.
it, the meta-ness of it,
Right.
like we said, it gets a little old at times. Like the player thing was really funny at first, and then you're like, okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're breaking the fourth wall a lot.
Right.
But there's a lot of moments like I loved. I don't know how far you guys got, but there was like a part where you're going into the school, and it's like whatchamacallit, what's the old Saved by the Bell.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Saved
that's
by
awesome.
the
I
Bell
did that,
portion
yeah.
of it. That part was awesome because like you go in and like that one and the Batman one were both awesome because you go into the set pieces and like you try and walk up the stairs and it's like invisible wall, totally not a totally like it's totally a set piece. It's not an invisible wall. Like, it's just like
That's great.
And he's like they go through all that stuff and then like you meet Kelly Kapowski, you pick her up and you take her back and you have what is it, lemonade or iced tea or something like that. And like
That's so good.
they just get the iced tea out, pour it, and sit down at the table and start drinking it, and just a censored bar pops up, and it starts making fun of it. And then like I just love like his little like references to like just moments that were like that were like big moments of Grand Theft Auto,
Right.
But then he somehow like merged them with like pop culture and stuff
Right.
like that. He did a good job with that. I could see it getting old though. Like after half the game, you're kind of like,
Right.
all right, like,
Yeah.
But I think that's where like the bite sizeness of it really
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Because you can choose to just run around and do whatever and totally play it like old GTA and just run people over and
Yeah.
do all the killing sprees and
Right.
fucking fire rockets and hit people with guitars.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
that stuff is really cool. But then there's also like the missions, but they're all like 2 minutes long.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
And
And
real
they're like-
quick.
you're like, oh shit, there's 60 missions in this game, but they're all like you can do them all in less than 5 minutes.
Right, yeah.
And you're like, you know what? I just need to like step away. But it's like it really was nice on the Vita because then it was just like, all right, I got some time to kill. Boop boop bop. Do a couple quick things and like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, like if you're on like a plane or a trip or something, like
Yeah.
this is like perfect. Like just
Yeah.
fucking play it on your Vita and just
Right. But
goof around.
did it feel insubstantial at all at times?
Not for an arcade game. I kind of look at those a little differently.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a full $60 I expect to be putting like
Right.
10, 12 hours into this
Right.
minimum
Right.
kind of thing.
But he falls into the trappings of those types of games sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where this goes along with like okay, I'm gonna make bad controls because games like that had bad controls.
Right.
There was like a time where he was doing like a retrieval mission, and he's like, okay, drive to this side of the city and pick this thing up, and drive to the other side of the city and pick this thing up. I think it was the Legend of Zelda thing where you go and get the sword. And he's like, he's like drives you over there. He's like he's like, are you tired of these drawn out experiences that are meant to just trump the game up? And it's
I
like,
think
yeah,
that's kind of funny though.
It
It's like
is.
so meta.
It is,
It's
yeah.
actually the thing, though, is what you're saying. Like,
But
like
he's
I get
doing
the,
it.
Yeah, I get the joke, but you're actually
I
making
still have to
me
do it.
this.
I still
Yeah.
do it. I think it's kind of funny.
like even if you're making fun of it and I'm still doing it, it doesn't make you better than it. You should
Yeah.
you should like okay, he occasionally would improve upon it. He'd take it, he'd be like for instance the follow mission, like where you're like at the trail the Batman guy,
Right.
And you had to stop at you had to hit the coffee stops to
Right.
keep yourself running fast
Right.
enough to keep up with him. That was cool because it was like a little bit of a change up on that, and I was like, okay, at least you pointed out how boring follow missions are,
Right.
and you changed it a little bit. It was still a little boring doing
Right.
that, but it was a little bit better. But then he made the joke about extended, like, the extending a game experience
Right.
like artificially, and still was falling victim to that. And I was
Right.
like, well, dude, if you really think that's bad, fix it and show us how you would do it better.
I think.
yeah, but can you make it better? That's
I don't know.
That's a question. You know,
don't
it's
know.
like
I think with this game, like what you're paying for is this guy's humor. You're not,
Yeah.
you're not paying for like the game. Honestly, to be honest with you, I did not like it that much. I was sort of like, I get, yeah, I used to play old like GTA and stuff,
Yeah,
and like
right.
I love that too. But like, I just didn't get into it that much. I just,
what do you think the what's the ROE, return on investment? Do you think
ROI, yeah.
ROI, yeah.
Investment.
turn on your.
If you're doing it
e-invest.
online.
We're doing it online.
Yeah.
Pets.com.
Yeah, like what do you think? Like, do you think that like so like I paid like 15
Yeah,
for
$15.
it,
Right.
right? Do you think it was worth $15?
It's worth the price of an album, like a music album.
Okay,
Right.
So yeah,
10 at least.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting like real picky here. Like, I don't know.
No,
like,
dude, I think that that's a valid thing. It's like, this is the first game we played on this podcast where you theoretically have to pay money for it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, was it
I-
worth it?
I would say like if you want to buy it and check it out, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're gonna buy it for somebody, probably
Yeah.
not.
If it was cheaper, do you think it'd be worth it? Is 15 too much, or is 10 better for something?
I think
like
10's
this?
probably better.
I think it depends. I think it really depends on what you're going into the game for.
Right.
Like if you're going into it for jokes and to laugh and just to get us humor, like you said, like if you're just treating it as that, it's not worth $15.
Right.
Because it's like that wears out really quickly, and
But not if that's what you're looking for.
Right. If that's what you're looking for.
And
Because
I
if you're
guess-
buying the game for the jokes, like, you probably aren't going to get tired of them.
I guess, but
Right.
no, but I think I was playing it at first. I was kind of like, oh, this will be really fun, and then I got tired of it. But I mean, it could. I mean, for me, it wouldn't be worth it if I was going into it for that. But I think this game offers the gameplay that you would want if you were going into it for, because it's really easy on the main missions.
Yeah.
But then you can do all those side missions, and I think it's got a
Yeah.
very steep learning curve for that stuff. And
it's
I think,
it's a completionist like
yeah.
jizz pot.
Exactly,
Like-
yeah.
Like I want to get this game and fucking do all this stuff, and
Right. Yeah, well,
I
I
get
mean-
all the references because I'm a super dork. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't mean that with disrespect. I do.
No,
but,
no.
but you know, I'd be like, yeah, like I think people will appreciate it for that, and I think since this is an indie game and he made it, like if you're in the games, you love games, you want to support this guy, like absolutely. But if you're just like a jaded dick like me, maybe you're not gonna like it that much. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, speaking of, like, completionists and playing it and like stuff like that, like just looking at the leaderboards, like there is no way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people with like $1 billion.
Yeah.
And I'm still like,
Yeah, but do you really want to do that? I mean, who wants to do that? You know?
There's other people that have
There's
$1
people
billion.
that- no,
I mean, I like Weird Al, but I don't want to like compete to be the Weird Al top fan. You know what I mean?
no. But I just meant as far as like how much there actually is to complete in
I mean,
the
I
game
really love Weird Al
level.
though.
Like there really is an insane amount
Oh, yeah.
of things
There's
to
a lot of
do.
shit to do,
Like
yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
much every 2 steps you take, there's a new thing.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the thing, and it's constantly hitting you with new things.
Right,
Like you're
yeah.
constantly being like, oh, check. Like you're halfway through the game, pretty much, or like a third of the way through the game, and then it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like take you on all these missions to take you to these different places to pick up pieces. And then each of those places is going to be a new thing that you can do.
Right. I mean, that's the
Casino,
way the
like-
Grand Theft Autos were. You didn't get new missions until you were introduced to them.
Yeah, that's true. They've always kind of
Through
been
the
like
game,
that.
you know?
Yeah, like the game slowly added it more and more.
Right. Like you think you're like, all right, well, I'm going to finish all of the missions from this guy, but then his missions open up another guy and open up
Right.
two
Right.
more. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think that the game, if you want to, this game can for $15 can be well worth the money. But you have to enjoy. You have to enjoy the old style of the game of the gameplay. You have to be willing to put up with some anachronisms as far as gameplay. Like, I think like the auto targeting is a little like crappy still. Like, did you guys notice that? Like, did you use auto targeting or did you use right stick?
I always
stick.
just use
I
the
use
stick.
auto
Yeah.
target.
I think I sort of like I wanted to use the stick, but I started to find after I died and lost all my weapons that the stick was a little like you used a lot of your ammo up really
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah,
Like,
you
if
did.
you
You
missed,
go
you
through.
wasted a lot of ammo.
Because your
Right.
hit percentage is way
Is way
lower,
down.
Yeah.
Right.
So like I sort of like went back and forth between it. Like during the Smash TV levels, I fucking loved it
Oh, yeah.
because like that's the way it is,
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
Like you should, and Smash TV, you're supposed to just be going crazy with
Right.
bullets, you know. But like when I'm on the street fighting people, I use the auto targeting because I would lock onto them and then just strafe around them in circles and take them out that way. And I found that the auto targeting was fucking super easy. It made it really easy when you could like lock on. But if you turn to like when you're running around in circles, there'd be times like after you killed a guy, if your back was facing them, the auto target
Dude,
wouldn't work.
You should
Right.
play it WADs like I did. I was like
Yeah,
getting mad. I was like, this is shitty.
you can't play with a keyboard
Because I'm used to WADs. Like, 'cause I played WoW forever, and so I, like my hand like knew that, you know.
Yeah.
But I would get, I call it floaty hand, because like you're trying to hit Control or Z, and
Right.
like you're not used to like that gameplay with that having to do that. So your hand moves, and I'm like, oh, where does my hand? And you have to look at your fucking keyboard like you're a sixth grader taking typing class, and you're like, what? So like it was a huge pain in the ass to play with it.
Yeah, you definitely. I would
That's-
never play
yeah,
with
I
it.
would never
Yeah.
want to do that.
That was
Well, I did it.
it was a poor choice.
Oh man.
But I just find that there was some little like parts of the gameplay that bothered me. Like it was that the shooting was really annoying to me, and then what else did I find that was the jumping. I found the jumping to be a little annoying.
I thought
at
so,
times.
too.
We talked about like,
Yeah.
like missing it and stuff like that. One thing I did like that he did was, did you guys get? I'm sure you got to this mission. I think it was pretty early. They give you the bombs, like the wick bombs, and you're supposed to blow up like 15 cars or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And like, I was getting so annoyed because you're like stand in front of them and you put the bomb down, and you're supposed to run away at the last second, and it blows it up. But like once you blow one up, the cops start coming after you,
Right.
and you're like trying to stand in front of a car, but you can't because you're getting shot. So I died like maybe 2-3 times, and then it was like getting a little too hard. Here's a rocket launcher, and it just gives you a rocket launcher, and you
pretty
just
funny.
go nuts and just start blowing shit
That's
up.
awesome.
So like I kind of like that he did that, like where he's like, all right, if it gets too difficult,
Right.
Right.
I'll throw these people a bone and get through that mission. Like,
Yeah.
with the main missions. I don't know. Did you do the one where you're death, where you become death?
I did not.
No, I didn't get that far.
There's one. It's right after you meet Kelly Kapowski. I don't remember what her name is in the game, but
Yeah.
you meet Kelly Kapowski and then you bang her with the iced tea, and then she gets pregnant and you're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
And then you run out and I think she kills you and you become dead. You're like about to run out and she kills you and you meet Death. And Death's like, all right, to come back to life.
I
you
got
have to be-
missions for you.
Yeah, you gotta be me. Yeah,
Death missions.
You
I
gotta
got
be
some
me.
missions for you.
And you got to run outside and just kill people, and it's so tough, man. Because like, I mean, maybe it's not that tough. Maybe if I spent like another half an hour doing it, but like I was
Right.
like, I gotta get back to the main missions. I'm not gonna keep
Yeah, yeah.
doing this.
Yeah.
But like, you have to like run, and you're like running at the regular speed you can, block to block, and like just kill a person on each block.
Yeah.
But like, there's not enough time for you to run around like in like a regular like like an S pattern.
Yeah,
and go
like
back and
block to
forth.
block. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know what
like
you're
you couldn't
saying,
do
yeah.
that. Like you have to find the optimal pattern of like jumping
Oh,
between
my
blocks.
God.
And it's like side missions like that start to get really tough.
Yeah,
Right.
And so I
could
think it's
see
really
that.
hard.
I could see that.
And I don't think he gives you. That's like the completionist stuff. That's where like he's like, all right, I'm
But
not
that's
gonna give
almost
you-
that almost becomes like the real game then.
Yeah.
Like that almost like if you're on a main mission and they're like, oh haha, it's so hard. Here's a rocket launcher. Then
Yeah.
it's like easy mode.
Yeah, it's
and
not
then
a game,
you the only reason to play it then is to play the side missions.
Right.
Yeah.
And those are difficult,
Yeah.
or they can be. And like I don't know, it's kind of frustrating. It's like the pendulum swings both ways, and there's no middle. So
I mean, I think what I liked about the main missions though was, even though they might have been easier, like there was a lot more novelty in those.
Yeah.
You know, like random stuff, like when you go and pick up like the like what was it, like a monkey car or whatever,
Right,
and like the Donkey Kong car,
Right
like,
around
shit
the-
like
yeah.
that,
Oh,
running
yeah,
around
yeah.
that, like that
That's
was
funny.
cool, and like you get all that stuff, like where these really weird random things happen to you,
Right.
and I thought it's easier, but I kind of enjoyed like being like, oh, well, where's he gonna take me next? Like, what am I gonna do next?
Yeah.
What's gonna be
I
next?
enjoyed the story much more than like the side missions or anything like
Yeah.
that. But I think that there's only so much you can do with like a top-down kind of like shoot everything kind of thing like that.
Right.
So it's like he almost has to invent stuff like that death mission to like make
Right.
it challenging and make it
Right.
and keep it fresh. You know?
Well, yeah, the jetpack thing, like
Right.
he does.
Yeah.
You do the first one, it's easy, and he's like, come back, and you know it's going to be actually tough,
Right.
Yeah.
to do the jetpack mission.
I mean, I like doing the story missions. I thought those were like well paced, and the jokes were actually solid throughout
Right.
in those portions.
Right.
But I spent so much more time just like looking for the extra shit.
Right.
Dude, I was in that arcade forever playing the Bit Trip and the
I never went to the arcade.
oh
and played
dude,
any games.
there's a Bit Trip machine where you
That's
play
awesome.
an old like all you can do is jump
Yeah.
Bit Trip, and there's a oh fuck, who the fucking food Epic Mealtime.
Oh, really?
There's an Epic Mealtime game where like Muscle's
That's
glasses
awesome.
in there, and you gotta like fucking do the old Mortal Kombat mash the button,
Yeah.
and
That's
then like
great.
he eats the food,
That's
and
awesome.
then yeah,
That's cool. That's
That's
actually
cool.
you
Oh,
can
shit.
then you like unlock skins to like play
Right.
as that.
As those
character,
dudes.
yeah.
Yeah. Like I unlocked Mr. Destructoid after
Yeah.
doing like the Destructoid mission.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love like when I liked when he broke out of the top-down shooter mode and gave you like a totally different gameplay experience for a
Right,
little bit.
yeah.
That was really cool. Like when you're doing the snake mission where you're in the box and you're
Right.
like sneaking around people, like stuff like that's fun, you know?
The sneaking
Yeah.
is so
Well,
hard.
I know you guys did that one Zelda thing, but did you guys actually find? I found it by accident. The mountain that you go in, and then I am error is in there.
Oh,
really?
But
That's
he's like
Oh, wait.
I am null.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you go in there and he gives you like a cardboard sword.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, now go chop down all the bushes and get coins.
Yeah.
So like you're just out like, but that whole like portion of the
Like a
island
landscaper.
looks like
That's cool.
like one screen from
That's
awesome. Zelda.
That's really cool.
that was fun. But
I went over there for a different reason because on one of the main missions, he sends you over there, and then you have to go back and fight dudes with swords, and you're not allowed to use like weapons or anything.
Right.
And I actually really like that part because you're like you have to jump, and you kind of get annoyed by it, but like you're like you have to stab and then back away, stab and back away, like you would in like a Zelda game.
Yeah.
And like so you're doing that, and then like he drops down, he's got this flamethrower, and you're like, what the fuck? Like and you're like so you're running around like circle strafing this dude trying to stab him with the sword. So like I liked when they switched it up a little bit, and he was like,
Right.
all right, but I really like it when he completely flipped it on you.
Yeah.
Like I never got to I know the turtles like underwater bomb level.
I
was
didn't
in
get there
this.
either.
I didn't get
Yeah.
to
That's
that.
funny.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else he did. I was like, that's what I was excited for. I was like I got sick of like the little minimal references of just being like funny line, funny character, things like
Yeah,
that. And
right.
I was more looking forward to okay, what's he gonna take me into next, like gameplay
Right.
wise? That's
Yeah.
gonna be like cool.
Yeah.
throwback.
How he weaved them all together was like really interesting. Just like
Yeah.
the Doc Brown stuff to the other Doc that trained you in fighting and stuff to
Oh, right.
Snake.
I was
Like,
thinking
that
about
stuff
how
was great.
like that on the way here. Like, how did he write it out? Like, or was it? Did he just say like, I want to do
Probably,
all
man.
these
It's got to be like a
things?
storyboard or something.
Like, I mean,
it's got to be.
it's impressive. Like that's
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
He's
But
like, I want Doc from Punch Out to teach me how to paperboy.
Right. Exactly. Teach me how to paperboy.
teach me how to paperboy.
You ain't fucking with my paperboy.
Dude, the paperboy level was actually pretty easy when you I messed
Well, yeah,
with one
'cause I
time.
was just
and
like, fuck
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
papers.
then, I'm sure there was harder levels of it though.
Yeah,
yeah.
there's more coming, but there was just so much like little stuff. I'm so distracted by like everything,
Yeah.
but like in a good way.
It's like a game full
Like-
of fucking shiny objects.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
"What?"
I want to see everything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must have played the like killing spree game where you have to shoot a wall and launch yourself in the air.
What?
The like
I
see
never
what
played
the
that one.
distance you can get is.
I never played that one.
Really?
No,
You guys
where
play
was
any
it?
of like the Killing Spree stuff?
No, I just
Like-
kept to the missions.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
only
it's
kill
like that.
people with guitars and like
No.
go to like fucking Bushwood and only kill people with golf clubs.
oh, I did.
No
you know what? I
way.
did the golf club one. Yeah, I did do that
But
one.
there was one that was like, here's a rocket launcher. See how far you can launch yourself from the explosion.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And like had to like really like line up some shit to like even
rocket
make it
jump,
like
yeah.
one block.
Wow, that's crazy.
It was fun.
I liked how all the dudes that had guitars and sombreros kind of looked like little broccoli men. I thought they were broccoli men when I first saw it. I was like, is that a little broccoli man? I was like, is that a little broccoli man out there playing a guitar? And then I ran him over and I saw it was just a sombrero, and I was like, oh, just a
Then
dude
I
with
ran him over and I
sombrero.
saw his insides, and he was human.
He was human.
Yo, can we talk about dead dudes for a second?
What
It
about
was
him?
so hard to figure out when people died.
Because they kind of like looked like they were sitting up. A
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was hard to tell the live sprites from the dead
This-
sprites.
That was my one qualm with the graphics is the sprites. I thought they were cool and like
Yeah.
a lot of
They
things.
should
Like,
have disappeared.
they were
after-
super. Yeah, they should have. They
Yeah.
were super detailed, but they were really small.
Yeah.
So like you would kind of like mix things up. You couldn't
Yeah.
always tell which way you were facing.
Right.
Things like
you have
that.
to have like really good eyesight even to like see your bullets sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that my bullet? It's like JFK. Like I don't know who's shooting.
Is that a magic bullet?
Yeah,
Magic,
it's
pixel,
like-
magic pixel
It
theory.
became
Pixel theory.
almost like Resident Evil, where it's like, Resident Evil, you gotta wait till like the blood shows up, then you know
Yeah.
something's dead.
Yeah,
Where in
so
this,
you
it's like
know,
if
yeah.
that weapon pops up, I know he's
dead.
dead.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the cops were tough because like you would hit
Yeah.
them sometimes and then they get back up and run after you. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Especially with the shotgun because the shotgun will
Dude,
knock people
fucking
over.
shotgun. Ugh,
I don't like the shotgun.
I hated I hated enemies with shotguns.
Yeah.
Dude.
They were the worst.
Did you guys do the Smash TV level? I don't know if that
Yeah.
was a
I don't
main
think I
mission.
did, no.
I did it. That was fun.
The Smash TV was cool because you had to go up like floor by floor, and like you could do it in any order you wanted. So like you could go up to the top floor, and the top floor was easy because if you get the pistol from the first floor, you could go up to the top floor and you kill one guy, and then he drops his gun, you get more bullets,
Yeah.
and then you can just run around and you get tons of ammo on the top floor.
Oh, nice.
And then you just drop back down, and like the hardest one was the one where there were like 4 dudes with a shotgun that came out in each direction.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, oh my god, I gotta jump over all these shotgun bullets, and then you want to like get close to him, but like when you're close to one guy, the other guy shoots you with
Yeah,
a shotgun.
yeah.
It got really tough.
I do like that they did kill each other though.
Yeah,
You
that's
could
cool.
you could like
Yeah.
trick them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could fool them into like offing each
If you're
other. Yeah.
equilibrium, you just move out of the way
Got a
and they all
bitch.
fucking shoot each other.
Yeah, I mean it was fun. Like it was a fun game, but I think I'm a little bit with you, Josh, in that like after a while I was like, okay, it's really fun, but it is just a Grand Theft Auto clone.
Yeah,
really.
very early on, I was like I said, like I get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I see what you're doing and I appreciate it, but I probably wouldn't play it like so much. Like you really liked it though, Luke. So I mean,
Yeah, it's fun.
yeah. But I mean, like if we're
It's
doing
it's
this to,
still
like,
very
recommend it.
flawed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's go around and I guess give sort of our final verdict on it because
Okay.
I think what we'll do with these ones at least is we'll do this more of like a not continue or game over, but should you spend your money on it?
Okay.
You know, should you buy it as
Did
a present?
did
or should
anybody
you-
else have anything else to say about their experience with
I
it?
don't know. Yeah, was there anything else you guys had?
Nah,
Don't
man,
play
I mean,
WADs.
Don't play WADs. I know a couple people on the Reddit were kind of frustrated with the controls. And
Yeah.
I can understand being frustrated with it because it was not very like tight
Yeah.
Right.
on purpose.
Yeah.
And you either do like say, okay, well this is just how it is, or you say this blows.
Right.
Right.
And it's just
like
it's a
life,
very
man.
yeah. It's all particular taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
you
feel
can
like
you can either deal with it or you get really angry about it.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like people who, I feel like people younger than us who play games, they play games now to become good at them.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm really good at this game, and
Right.
I'll enjoy it if I'm good at it. But I think with this game, there's no getting good at it. You know, it's just, this is what it is, and you enjoy it for what it is.
You don't think
know?
you could get good at this game? I feel like you could.
I think you could understand the physics of like how everything works and stuff like that, and like the controls a little bit better and stuff like that. But I don't think there's nothing to get good at. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? It's just like shoot things and have fun and like take it like that. I mean, on the cover of the thing it says like parody, like it's like open world parody.
Right.
Everything's a parody.
Right,
Like,
right, exactly. So I almost feel like getting frustrated at the controls is like that's understandable because it's frustrating and
It's-
it's just
right.
how it is.
It feels like it straddles this line between actual game and art game, sort of.
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
like it's
I
almost
agree with
because
that.
it's just one guy and it's one man's vision making this thing. It almost feels like he's like, you're gonna experience my feelings. Like I'm gonna make you feel a certain way.
Well, I think that's a lot of indie games are like, and I think that's
Yeah.
what makes them stand out from like Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
For me, I think it's worth $15. I had a great time playing it. It's like I said, it's like a fucking Weird Al album, and I fucking love Weird Al.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You know, I do. First CD I ever bought, man.
That's crazy.
Alapalooza.
Really? That was
Yeah.
my first tape that I ever bought.
Oh, really?
I bought the Jurassic Park one. What
Shit,
was
I
that?
had
Was that
all those tapes
Alapalooza?
before
What was
that,
that one
son.
called?
Yeah, it was Alapalooza.
That was Alapalooza, yeah.
But no, man, I think that like for $15 you get some fun. You know what I mean? You get like a fun time. Would it be better if it was a little bit cheaper? I think so. I think that like if you're on the fence, wait till it goes on sale on Steam and spend $10 on it, and you'll have a great time. But for me, I think $15 is like a perfect price point for it.
Yeah.
You know, I think I had more fun playing this than like a $60. Like, I mean, I had fun playing Assassin's Creed, but like, I had more fun playing this than Assassin's Creed. You know.
Okay.
Right.
How about you, Luke?
I agree. I think it's worth $15. I think it's an enjoyable game. You should definitely be aware of like how flawed the experience is, and that it's definitely not as accessible as many other games
Right.
that we've even played on this so far, and we've only
Right.
we've played like just like retro games. But I would say even some of like the super dense RPGs are a little bit more accessible than this to the average people. But this game isn't made for the average people. This game is made for lifelong gamer people who are looking for a game that says, remember this?
Yeah.
Right.
This was fun.
This is
I think
pop
that's what I
culture
like
of the
about it
game.
too, man. Like
It's pop
as, like-
culture of the game.
Yeah, dude. As like a pop culture
It really-
junkie,
it really
man,
is.
it was
And-
like I get it. I want
Yeah.
more of it. You know.
Right.
And I think it was fun, and I think if it hadn't been so compartmentalized in the way it did stuff, I would have been a little bit more disappointed.
Right.
But I think because it's so like bounce in, bounce out, like
Right.
I'm waiting for the dryer to get done,
Yeah.
play it for a couple
right.
missions, and then like walk away.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
true.
You know, I think it's like the perfect game for that. You get just the right amount of jokes and that style of gameplay, then you can walk away, go do something else, and come back.
Wish I had treated it like that. I did it more in marathon plays where I play it
Yeah.
for like 2 hours.
That's kind of the downfall of this, though. Sometimes is we don't have time to
Right.
come in and out. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I have to sit down for 4 hours and
Yeah.
play a game for 4
Yeah.
hours, and that might skew my perspective.
No,
but
that's
yeah.
fair.
It's not the type of game that you want to sit down and play it for 4 hours. It's like you might. I mean, some people might,
Right.
but it's definitely I think better like you're saying where you, especially if you had it on a handheld. Like I could see sitting down with a handheld on this game and being like, all right, I'm gonna play 10, 15 minutes. This
Or
is a
even
great
Steam.
time.
Like I didn't play it on Steam, but if you had it on your computer, like, all
Yeah.
right, I got to write this paper. All right, I'm writing
Right.
15 pages. All right, time to take
Take
a
a
break.
break, yeah.
I'll play like
Yeah, just-
5
yeah.
levels of this, and then like veg out, and then
Yeah.
come
And
back.
And come back
Yeah.
in fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your verdict?
I think if we were doing a continue game over scenario, personally, I would game over the game. But having like talked to you guys, and I mean, we all were laughing the entire time at this
Right.
at the stuff in the game. Like I would say, $15 is not terrible. It's not too much. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
an adult,
Get off the fence. Make a
It's
decision.
not too bad to have a couple laughs. You know.
yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
not too bad. It's not too bad to have a couple laughs. It's also, I mean, I don't know, like.
I'm trying to convince you, like I get a fucking cut.
No, I just if you want to support this like indie game developers, then absolutely $15 is not a lot. So
Yeah.
I would say buy it for yourself. Probably you'll probably like it.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean for the price of what like a movie ticket and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You get at least like 10 or 15
a night at the
15 hours.
movies for yourself.
or
Yeah.
a 3D movie, like one 3D.
Yeah, like
movie.
one 3D
One
movie.
3D movie.
Like,
Skip
this
The
is-
Hobbit. Play this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like exactly like like what you expect from like a $15 game, like about 10 or 15 hours of like decent gameplay and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm wary to say buy it only because I think there's a lot of other really good indie games that I really liked this season
Right.
That's fair.
for about the same price, if not less. I think if you want to experience like the humor and you want to experience like sort of a love letter to like everything that we've grown up with, or maybe not even a love letter, maybe a hate letter. Like it's definitely worth it for the experience. But I think I'm sort of like with Nick, where you were saying like if it drops on sale, like it's gonna probably go on Steam sale. If
Right.
this thing drops down to like below $10, it's definitely worth picking up.
Yeah.
That's
but-
like seems to be the magic number. 10
Yeah.
seems to be. I feel like that's just. That's
Yeah.
simple. Like that's a nice even number.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I feel like this is the type of game that if I were a kid, like when I was like 14 or 13
Yeah.
or something, and like just in that magic age between like not wanting to play video games for a really long time, but also like kind of getting over them a little bit. Or I guess I don't know. I guess you're probably in your prime at like 13 or 14 with video games, like, and you have all you have to do is sit around and play one game for like an entire Saturday. I could have seen myself, like 13-year-old me, just like going nuts on this game and like completing every little thing of it. Like the people that probably have $1 billion are probably all about that. Not that this is a little kid's game,
Right.
But like I could see like if I were in that mindset, going nuts on it. But I think now, as I've gotten older and my tastes have matured a little bit, I want something with a little more depth if I'm gonna marathon it.
Right.
So I think if you're willing to have like, just like you said, like a shut off your brain experience, and you can get into that for like 8 hours, it's worth the $15.
Yeah.
But if you were looking for something with a little more substance beyond like just laughs and crazy zany gameplay,
Right.
Yeah.
it might be worth waiting for it to come down in price.
How many chair creaks out of 10 would you give it?
I would give it about 6.5 chair creaks.
I've been creaking all episode.
I know, man. This whole episode's been Chair Creek City. It's just gonna be like,
6.5, try it.
6.5. So that's our verdicts on Retro City Rampage. On the next episode, we're going to be playing Mark of the Ninja, which I've heard amazing things about.
I'm
That'd be good.
gonna accidentally spoil a little bit in the next
come on,
episode.
dude.
Don't do that.
No, Mark of the Ninja is one of my top 10 games of the year.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice, man.
So for
So
people,
it
for
sucks.
You should write up a list, man.
I did.
Oh,
I
sweet.
have a list up. It's on Guy Speed.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Dude, send us a
Go
link.
there.
We'll put it up.
The so if you were on the fence about whether or not to pick it up in time for the next show, definitely pick it up so you can partake in the discussion
Cool.
about Mark of the Ninja.
what I'm hearing-
What is available on?
Steam and
Yeah,
360.
and 360,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet. I'm playing on 360,
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah. Joining that Xbox clan.
It's got those sweet shank graphics too, which kind of look like it's like that. They look like what's the show from Adult Swim that you guys loved?
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack.
Samurai Jack. Well, and also the
Aqua Teen
Venture
Hunger
Brother
Force?
ones.
Oh,
The Venture
Oh,
Brothers.
dude, looks like Venture Brothers?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, kind of like
A little bit.
that's
It's
a little
that
bit,
heavy dark line.
Yeah.
The outside,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
dark outside.
Very,
lines.
very, very cool art style. But I don't want to talk too much about it. But I
Alright,
just wanted to get people
I'm
hyped
down.
up for
Yeah.
the next
'em
episode because
pumped.
the game is good.
I told my brother we were playing this for this, and he was like, "Dude, he's like, I sat and beat it. He's like, I almost 100%ed it in one night."
Oh, nice.
Because
That's
I was
awesome.
loving it.
It's so good.
Yeah. So that'll be the next game that we play. So pick that up, and or hang out and just listen and get the verdict of whether you should pick it up for Christmas or not.
Yeah.
That should be out right around Christmas, or maybe it'll be after Christmas.
It'll be a
that
week
episode.
after, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
I
Something
think
like
we're
that.
yeah.
I'm not Rain Man. I can't think too weeks
That'll
ahead.
technically be the New Year's episode.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it'll be I don't know. Whatever. Whenever it comes up, just fucking listen.
Yeah. Just listen to that. Just listen to that shit.
Just fucking do it.
Listen to all that goddamn shit.
Before we drop out, I want to do some 5-star reviews.
Oh,
from the
yeah.
iTunes thing. Mason Turner wrote in and said superb retro reviews. Although this one wasn't retro, but and I think
Faux retro.
it's faux retro, and I think
Yeah.
all the indie games kind of have that faux
Yeah.
retro. That's why we like them, and I think they work in our format
Yeah.
because it's not. I guess what I was saying about wanting more in-depth experiences, it's sort of a little inappropriate to our show.
Not really, because you get those on
Yeah.
retro games. So
With,
I mean,
like, with
but that's
RPGs.
only because we've been doing RPGs like
Yeah.
nonstop.
We've been,
yeah.
it's been like super RPG hours.
It's been a nice change with these games.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
wait till 2013 rolls around and we're just playing fucking Cool Spot.
fighting.
Yeah.
Playing fighting games. Whatever.
What'd you think about Street Fighter?
I like fighting that guy.
I like you could do the Hadouken move. You could do the fireball.
Uncle Taint writes in.
Yes.
It says, awesome show.
Awesome.
Awesome
taint.
name.
This from Filmfire says, Paul, Nick, and Josh are awesome. I wish Matt Damon would talk a little bit more, but still awesome. Why are you
Oh, I'm Matt
Are
Damon.
you Matt
Is
Damon?
it because he looks like
What-
Matt
Is,
Damon?
is
Oh,
it because
no.
I sound Matt Damon? Is it like, is that
I
me?
guess, man. I don't know.
guess.
I think it's just you're handsome.
Oh, okay. So it's not because I'm like mentally
No.
disabled.
No, that
disabled.
dude's a great actor. He's
Yeah.
not mentally disabled.
No.
Did you see Team America?
He was terrible in that.
Candace Majoris wrote in and said, Josh Ginger Henderson makes the show great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he
that's
loves
nice.
you.
Thank you.
Zach Zizzle wrote in and said, ContinueCast, an unparalleled podcast.
That's good.
Ham1476, some adjectives that describe this podcast. And then he goes on to say, beautiful, sexy, smooth, fun, sponsored, opinionated, non-biased, original, funny, perfect, balanced, friendly, adult, awesome, and orgasmic.
In my head, he was saying that like Ruby Rod. That just what in my
That's
head.
great. Like I was like sponsored unbiased.
Safari Disco Lion writes in and says, great for fresh perspective on retro games.
Oh, nice.
Castan568 says, in favor of Drunkcast. That's not a bad idea.
That's
Get
a really good idea.
Could
We'll
be
do
a thing
that.
in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toadstrom writes in, says, so dope. His real name's Cody Kane. And he says, the 4 ContinueCast is a group of 4 comedians. Apparently we're
Wow.
What a
comedians.
compliment.
I'll take
Dishing
that.
out quality gaming episodes of joy.
I don't hate myself enough to be a comedian.
I do.
It sounds better than kind of funny, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, this next one I was kind of reading a little dyslexic. It's Spider-Man 96, but I was reading it Spider-Man 69.
Yeah,
Oh,
boy.
Which he could totally do really awesome because he could
He
do the
did it.
upside down.
He kissed
almost-
69.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
He kissed
did it.
69. That
He did it.
counts.
He said that counts. He says, you guys are awesome.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you think Spider-Man Peter Parker played a joke on Mary Jane sometime and be like, oh, we just got done fucking, so you can probably leave now. And, he can, like, stick
Yeah.
any part of his body anywhere. And she's like, okay, I'm going to leave. And she's, like, trying to get up. And he's like, nah, man, you ain't going nowhere from this dick. You know?
Oh, can you
Are
imagine?
you implying that
just
he may
stuck
have forcibly
inside?
sexed her?
No, after they had sexed.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but your
He
wiener
can't
gets
make
all
any-
soft.
Only
and
his
stuff.
hands and his feet.
No, dude,
he's
he
got
can do,
those
like, his
hairs.
body and
and
stuff.
everything. He's got that
No, he
everywhere.
can't.
I think it's just his fingers and his
No,
feet.
I think he can stick, like, on his dick and
He
stuff.
can't just like I
think I read
up
that.
to a wall and sit on the wall like.
I thought he could.
I think I read that in my fanfic. It's canon. It's canon.
Brave Fan Jones writes in and says, worth more than 5 stars.
Oh,
All
wow.
the stars.
What a nice compliment.
Raisined E writes, the feeling. ContinueCast leaves a warm, juicy, erotic feeling in my heart and in my mind.
Wow.
What about in your mouth?
Enoch83 writes in, awesome! First, I live in PA and awesome, and this is produced in my state. They talked about tasty cakes. Second, the
Yeah.
podcast sounds like every conversations my friends from college have had as we were a bunch of 90s kids talking about cool stuff we remembered while raging about something else. It warms my heart and makes me think of better days.
We actually followed you around and recorded all
Yep.
your.
It's all
This
yours.
is actually you said this. What I'm saying right now, you said this one time.
Yep. It's
Also,
in his
Wawa, Lehigh Valley Iced Tea, and
what's
some other Pennsylvania
thing.
thing.
Annie Ann's.
Pretzels.
Interstate 276.
The sure kill.
Skew kill.
You kill. Drew Motto writes in, fantastic show, guys.
Fantastic name.
Amask001 writes, the best podcast on iTunes. Gave me an
Oh.
addiction to Monster. You hear that, Monster?
Oh shit! Pay us.
That's not good.
Mick Honcho writes uncontrollable laughter. He talks about the time that you wrote about the fart brushing up against your balls and giving you a boner, Josh.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember talking about that.
I remember
I
that.
remember that.
Wang Chun writes in and says, awesome show, great job.
Hey, everybody have fun tonight.
Fantastic stuff from Savvy Cat. Luke's probably a killer robot sent from the future to enslave the human race.
True.
Nick is more than likely an evil wizard trying to take over the known universe.
Also true.
But it's cool. Paul and Josh can team up Double Dragon style and save the day.
Wait, did that guy ever see that episode of Game Breaking News where I did come back from the
Oh,
future?
that's right.
yeah.
Dude, and you had glasses like
Oh
that.
my god!
With the wraparounds, that's
Oh
right.
my god, those wraparounds got a lot of play.
We did it.
Dude, holy
we
shit.
did it.
Just Cox writes in, great show.
Thanks,
Coyd
Just
writes,
Cox.
the best. Scrawl Dahl writes, a cult classic.
Roll
Rotes.
doll.
Rotes. Josh Quivkovics writes, love this podcast. Terrible Tom Pereira, radical podcast.
Tubular man.
1080 Ego writes in, Josh Henderson, enough said.
Hey, thanks.
Hey.
Sparty457, hilarious. Mr. Cockbowls, but it's Bales. Mr. Cockbales,
Bales.
I like cock balls better.
Bales.
the best around.
Oh,
No
nice.
one's ever gonna be the best.
Saint, what the hell? Saint Look for Pig Butthole.
Oh, that's good. That's
from
named
the-
just for
yeah,
us.
that's from the show.
Oh, Saint Looker of Pig Butthole.
That's
He's
good.
the patron saint of looking at pig
Yeah,
buttholes.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
light. He's seen it. Xbox or XBob42. Continue castaways. This is a lot. We have a ton here.
This is crazy.
Run
Alex
out.
Didi wrote great. No, we have tons more.
We gotta save some,
All
man.
right, fine. They call me the Swede. Last one. They call me the Swede. I assure you guys have not read this yet. I love this show. It's awesome.
Oh,
Poop
that's
dick.
nice.
Poop dick.
Oh man, poop dick. All right, everybody. If you made it this far into the podcast, it's time for today's secret words. And if you leave a comment on any Continue social media, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, with the secret words, you're automatically entered into a contest to win some action figures from us to you. 3 people will win. First secret word, Paul, go.
Tomatillo Tommy.
Wow.
It's hard to say. I think I said jizz bucket in this episode. So jizz bucket.
I'm gonna say fuck. The Burbs. That's the thing. Fuck the Burbs. I don't know what the fuck that was, but that's what it is.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Pickin' Chicken Monday.
Pickin' chicken.
I missed that shit. All right, so that's another episode of the ContinueCast, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of ContinueCast. My name's Nick.
I'm Paul.
I'm Josh.
And today we're going to be talking about something super special. Great topic today. Ready? Okay. So, you come back in the future Bill and Ted style, okay?
Okay.
Right? Your future self comes back from the future in the telephone booth.
Yeah.
And you can give yourself one piece of advice. What is it?
Oh, shit.
Wait
From
for
the
Whopper
future?
Wednesday.
From the future. What is it?
Wait for Whopper Wednesday.
Wait for Whopper Wednesday.
You're just like 3 days ahead. Like, you come from the future 3 days from now, and you're just like, look, Luke, it's fucking important, man. You gotta wait for Whopper Wednesday, man, because you're gonna go on Tuesday and you're gonna spend way too much money. Just wait for Whopper Wednesday. I think that's great.
I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
I'm gonna
date
say-
redheads.
Only date redheads? That's
Yeah,
going to be
only
your
that's
redheads.
Perpetuate the race.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're going to go extinct in the future somehow.
That's what they say, but my genes are strong, baby. They're gonna bust through.
You're passing that shit on,
Yeah.
no matter what.
I could like,
Redhead or no.
marry like a black lady,
And she would have a
and
redhead.
she'd have a
child.
redhead child. Yeah.
Invest in plastics is going to be mine.
Yeah,
Plastics?
dude, that's great advice.
Invest in
Yeah.
plastics.
What is this? It's a Wonderful Life?
No, it's a graduate.
Get out of here.
Graduate.
It's both.
When did he say that?
George Bailey turns down that job to go work in the plastics factory with his buddy who just went to New York because he didn't
They
get
had
to go to
plastic
college. Yeah, because that was the thing.
Like 48, right? That's when that movie was made.
Yeah.
All right, they had plastic.
Pretty good.
No, actually, I think mine would be. Well, I probably would have liked this a while ago, but I would have been like, buy up that fucking Ben and Jerry's flavor that you like because it's gonna die.
They're gonna
Which one?
discontinue that shit.
Every single one that I've ever loved has died.
Like what?
Like, what was the American Dream was really good.
America.
Oh, the Stephen Colbert one.
Yeah, man, that one's gone.
Yeah.
What other ones have I liked that have gone the way of the dodo? There's been a couple other
Vanilla.
ones. Vanilla.
Nobody use that vanilla. It's all about vanilla bean.
Dude, you gotta get on top of that shit. You gotta stock up.
How you gonna stock up on ice cream? You can't keep ice
You gotta
cream.
stock up from the future.
It goes
Trust
bad.
me.
It goes bad.
I like how it's like stock up on ice cream, not Ben and Jerry's stock. Just,
Yeah, right.
just ice
Yeah.
cream, not
No, I
stock.
think didn't they discontinue Kurt Cocoa Beans?
Did they?
Was that a
I
real
never had
thing?
Kurt
Well, he
Cobain.
discontinued himself.
You know what's gonna go? The one that I love now, Chubby Hubby. You ever
Yo.
have that shit? That's
Chubby
just the
Hubby's
truth.
good, yeah.
I don't need
Shit's the
that.
truth.
It's too expensive.
Dude, it's so you gotta go get some Chubby
No way,
Hubby,
man.
I would tell myself 2 words: punkin' chunkin'.
Invest in Pumpkin Chunkin.
Yeah, build one, build machine.
Yeah, like
I
that.
always wanted to do that, man.
It looks really fun.
Now it's like a big thing. Now it's like a fucking Mythbusters
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
You know, people did it before. They would just like fuck around, but now it's
Yeah.
like engineers are on that shit.
Yeah, they got
now.
like NASA working on a pumpkin chunker.
Yeah. We're not going to space anymore.
Chunker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got no budget to space,
Yeah.
man. We're just
Pumpkins.
gonna go like
What's the
300
next
yards.
frontier? Pumpkins, the next frontier.
Oh my god, that's
What's yours,
good.
Nick?
Mine would probably be to go back to like when I was a kid in the 80s and just be like, hey, you need to watch more terrible 80s movies because my fucking wife knows every terrible 80s movie.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I can't believe you never watched this. And I'm like, man, shut up, man. I watched a lot of shit that you ain't watched, all right? But I would just like to know more so I could be like, yeah, I already saw that.
That's the only reason. So you just shut your wife down. So you'd be like, I still know more than you.
I still know more.
I gotta say
I'm the
this,
man.
guys.
I wear the
Just
pants.
not know, because just so I can like appreciate it. Like we watched like The
Yeah.
Money Pit. Like I never saw The Money Pit
Yeah.
before, and we
Get the
watched
Fuck
it.
out.
And she was like, "Isn't this fucking great?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty good. You know, Tom Hanks, he's
Yeah.
pretty funny in it." I just didn't appreciate it as much as I like should have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I like love like everything else. You know what I mean?
I would have changed mine and go back from the future to now and go, Paul, you wasted your fucking thing. Thank you for listening to the ContinueCast. Our theme music is written and performed by Chris Connolly, aka DataCats. Check out his Facebook page at facebook.com/datacats. The ContinueCast is produced by Paul Ritchie, Nick Murphy, Josh Henderson, and our special guest, Luke Brown. Email us at continuepodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ContinueShow, and follow us on Twitter at ContinueShow.
Hey everybody, this is Luke. My wife and I are game journalists, and we're currently working in the industry. And she, along with about 50 other members of the game journalism industry, some people from game development and the mental health profession, have started a new initiative called the Take This Project. And if it's all right with you, I'd like to share their mission statement. Mental health is a hard thing to talk about. Depression and anxiety can be overwhelming, but so easily dismissed as just feeling sad or needing to relax. It's far too easy to simply not talk about these problems. They sap your motivation and self-worth, making you feel like nobody cares about your suffering, and so we suffer alone, quietly. The Take This Project understands the complex reality of these problems, the immense relief on a day when you feel great, the sinking feeling when you sense the trap doors start to open underneath you, and the simple exhaustion of living when you're at your worst. It's dangerous to go alone. Take This is meant as a helping hand. We're here for empathy and for support. We share our stories and our time in the hope that anyone who is living with a mental health issue doesn't have to go through it by themselves. We've been there. We've had loved ones who have been there. And we want to help. We want to talk. We want to hear from you. We want you to live the life you deserve. Take This. The Take This project consists of around 50 members from within games journalism, games development, and the mental health profession and other industries, and is a new outreach program which you can reach on Facebook at facebook.com/takethisproject, and can be found on Twitter at takethisproject. So that's something that we're helping out with, and it would be great if you guys could check it out and continue to give us support, and we'll give you support.